Hello and welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we will flow a little bit together, and the theme of this class is gonna be waves. So with no further ado, we will start already at the front of our mat, separating the feet wide enough under the hips. And then we start with spinal wave. That is an incredible way to start the day. Keep the knees slightly bent. And we want to imagine that we want to touch a wall, first with the forehead, nose, chin, chest, rib cage, belly, hips. At the same time, as soon as we touch, we want to pull ourselves back. We start together with the spinal wave, head leading. So we look like something more or less like this. Everybody is welcome to close the eyes. I always like to think that I am touching each and every vertebra as I move, so that it becomes less, I would say, hasty and more controlled. Close your eyes, take a couple of breaths here, just to bring yourself in the space where you can wave with me. Option here to feel a little bit more relaxed in the face, into the body, so that you can invite way more spontaneity as we move together. Take a couple of breaths. Maybe notice the sounds, sensation around you, the sun on your skin, if you are taking this class somewhere in open air. Maybe the warmth of your home, if you are in your own house. When you're ready, either with the eyes closed or open, take a deep breath with me and allow yourself to exhale. Breathe in again and let it go. One last breath in and allow yourself to fully let go. When you're ready, we start with wave, head leading. So again, imagine you want to touch that wall with your forehead, nose, chest, and rib cage at the same time as you move back. Want to keep the arms quite soft, almost like if they were not even part of the equation. Try to avoid to pop your buttocks too much out. It's a spinal wave, so you want to focus on the spine. Lower back with arch either way. So notice what happens if you allow just the spine to move, without bringing too much movement in other parts. Again, your eyes can be closed. Feeling this continual movement, like a never-ending pattern. And every time I do this, I notice there are parts of my spine that are a little bit more sticky. We are recording this class first thing in the morning. So for me, it might be this one the best thing to do as I wake up, just to kind of check in what's going on with the spine. When you already start to reverse, so we want to kind of move the hips forward, then the ribcage, chest, and then the rest of the upper body. Keeping the knees slightly bent. I always feel like I get energy from my feet and allow this energy to travel all the way up. Like pushing my spinal wave all the way up towards the sky. Taking a couple of those, again, same logic. You want to invite movement across the spine. You want to feel it all. Last two. Notice how progressive things become easier, actually enjoyable. When you really stay here, take a moment to feel the effect in the spine, maybe just the effect in your body. I will start by bringing the feet maybe a little bit more close, sending the arms forward. And we want to start to squat down. So bending the knees, maybe transition on toes. And as soon as we are here, like balancing on our toes, we want to drop the knees forward silently, untucking the toes, and bring ourselves in a seated sizer. In our seated sizer, placing the hands on top of the knees, we start to invite movement again into the spine, a little bit hip curls. Imagine you want to circles. And notice how it feels good as you do so. And when you already move to the other side, I will put myself on this other direction you can see. So if you do circles clockwise, start to do it anti-clockwise. Noticing. From here, last couple of circles. Take a moment here to place the hands behind the head as soon as you bring yourself in a neutral spine. We will invite little cat and cows with facilitation of our arms to suggest the movement. So when you already exhale, round chin towards the chest, maybe the elbows move close. Inhale, open, find the extension of spine. Elbows move apart. Exhale, round, find this seated cat and cow. It's inhale, open. Rounding, opening, rounding, and opening. When you're ready, take your last two. And as soon as you're ready, bring yourself in your neutral spine. We will interlace the knuckle behind the back and simply stretch and open the chest, keeping the palms together. Maybe expose the throat towards the sky. Exhale, bring yourself to neutral. We want to bring the knuckles towards the right hip and bring the right ear towards the right shoulder, finding some space into the neck. Try to keep your spine neutral. It's just an isolated motion, so you want to really feel the neck. And when you're ready again, knuckle towards the back, open the chest, squeezing the elbows together, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Maybe open the throat towards the sky. Exhale, come back to central, knuckles towards the left ear towards the left shoulder. Feeling the stretch in this side of your body. The neck start to open up. When you're ready, gently come back towards the center. So, want to bring ourselves on toes, also the small one. Taking a moment here to maybe send the arms back as we lift the knees from the ground, sending the hips down, and Vinyasa. Inviting some mobility into the feet. So when you press the feet onto the ground, first one what you do is support. So you want to place the hands under the hips. Bring yourself forward. Again, knee taps. And now we want to bring ourselves back up with control. Send the arms forward and sit. Vinyasa. The next one we will take it maybe as much as our capabilities without the support of the hands. Coming all the way up. This early morning, my hips are a little bit still on the stiff side. And then as we are here, we want to place the hands down and gently start to bring ourselves in a forward fold position. Take a moment to separate the feet, maybe shake the legs. When you're ready, place the hands down, step your right and left foot back, finding a downward facing dog. Take a moment here to enter, invite the pose, pressing the hands on ground, lifting the tailbone. We want to invite waves also here, so it can be a little bit smaller, like that you just focus on spine, maybe inviting shoulders, or they can be a little bit bigger, so we start to wave in our plank, bending the knees. As we do so, we arch the spine and we send the hips all the way up. Do it for a couple of times, feeling kind of spontaneity through this motion. Option anytime you do waves actually is to close your eyes so that you can fully tune in. I like to add those even if I'm not actually doing anything special in my class. When I'm holding, if I'm not focusing on holds, of course, I like to add spinal waves in down dog anytime. So this one can be reversed. It comes a little bit with more articulation. So bringing the knees, arching and rounding as we move back in down dog. So we feel a little bit more less natural, unless you start to feel it and invite it more frequently into your practice. We do also add 2 of those. When you're ready, stay here for a moment. We want to start to drop the feet towards the right side. Imagine that you want to kind of push your buttocks out. Maybe arms reach overhead, and you want to invite little undulation into your spine from this position. Maybe dropping all the way down as you move back, maybe hands behind the head. When you're ready, hands on ground. We do it onto the other side too. Again, try to push your hips out, inviting undulation into the spine. Feel it nice and juicy actually. When you're ready, exhale. Now we will start to move forward by simply taking a moment, entering in our undulation again, so turning towards the left side, pushing the hips out. And this time we kind of bring the right leg fluctuating, maybe almost transition towards a side plank as we sit down. Finding what changes if we take one limb out, actually 2 limbs out of the equation. When you're ready, bring the right knee into the chest and we step it forward with control. From here we land in our low lunge. Really finding a strong push into the back toes and come up into your high lunge. We will add little waves here. Opening the chest, exhaling, leaning forward. In a opening, exhaling, moving forward, rounding, kneeling, opening. Last 2. Find the round as you send the arms forward, tucking the tailbone under. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. When you're ready, bring both hands down. Moving in cobra rows, stepping back, finding a plank position. Option to bring the knees down for the first one, finding a chaturanga towards the floor. From here, I'm start to bend my right knee. I roll onto my left side, Inhale, lifting the hips, opening the chest. Exhaling, sending the hips down. Bring myself again into a supine with belly on ground, hands outside of my shoulder, pressing the feet and lifting up into a cobra. Exhale, move down. When you're ready, hands on ground, push yourself into your child pose. Taking a breath here. Inhale, lift the hips, move back, downward facing dog. When you're ready, again, we will start onto the other side. So start to roll onto outside of your right foot, press your right hand down, protrude the right shoulder. Again, we want to add a little motion as we remove two limbs from the equation, left hand and left foot. See what happens as we do so. You want to open a little bit more, find like your own version. When you're ready, take your last motion, last undulation, last modified wave. We're stepping the left foot forward. We're moving here with kind of controlled motion. When you're ready, inhale, arms are reaching up. Exhale, bend the elbows, open the chest. As soon as you round forward, find the tuck into the tailbone. Inhale, open. Exhale, angry cat spine round. Other two. Breathe in. Exhale. Breathe in. And round and exhale. When you're ready, bring both hands down. This time we transition from a regular push-up, the regular chaturanga. So bend the elbows and rib cage. Feel you strong. Belly on ground. From here already we roll onto our right side, bending the left knee, placing the left foot on ground, circling the left arm forward and lifting the hips. Modified wild thing. Exhale, sit down. Cobra rolls. First, bring yourself on belly. Hands are wide at the shoulder, feet press down. Inhale, open. Keep the legs active. Exhale, release. Put hands on ground. We're pushing our downward facing dog. Take a moment here, pedal the feet. When you're ready, exhale, knees on ground. Find your tabletop position. We adjust here a couple of cat and cows. Again, activating the spine. Rounding, hands under the shoulder, knees hip width apart. Breathing in. Exhale, round. Breathe in. Squeeze the shoulder blade together. Exhale as you round. You find this pull all towards the sky. Last two. Breathe in. And exhale. Adding other variation, bringing ourselves in child pose. Option here to transition between bigger waves. So when you're ready, inhale, tuck the toes, maybe push the chest forward. Exhale, round. And find your child. Inhale, slide maybe closer to the floor as you push yourself up. Exhale, round. Sit back. Last two. Think about bending the elbows, keeping them down as you bring yourself up. Exhaling as you round. Last one. And when you're ready, round and stay. Child pose. Taking a moment here, shake the head. Maybe even sit it inside if you prefer to stay in a sort of meditative fashion. More I practice, more I find it more comfortable for me. Simply sit instead. Allow everything to sink in. I'll keep the undulation a little bit shorter with the same intention to step forward from here on. When you're ready, bring yourself into your downward facing dog, starting with the intention of step the right foot, so you want to move on that side of the left foot. Again, short undulations. Maybe just two. When you're ready, right knee into the chest. We step it forward with control. Remember, you can always bring your own flair, meaning that if you need to adjust, you can. When you're ready, inhale, arms are reaching up. Open the chest. Exhale, round. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. Last one, we open. And we round. Sending both hands down. Sending the right leg up. Finding your three-legged dog. Bending the knee, open the hips. Finding the scorpion dog. Keep pushing the knee towards the sky. When you're ready, exhale, bring the right knee into the chest. Inhale, send the leg up. Scorpion. Inhale, knee towards the chest, maybe tapping the left elbow. This time we send the right foot towards the ground. finding a falling triangle. Left arm can reach up. Inhale here, exhale, sit towards the back. Inhale, push, lift. Exhale, sit towards the back. Like a modified Skandasana. Inhale, open up. Maybe end behind the head. I find it way more comforting. Inhale, push back where you were. Last one. Keep the back knee nice. Avoid for collapsing in. And push. When you're ready, both hands onto the ground. Send the right leg all the way back and up. Exhale, step your right foot between the hands. And start to spin the back foot open. Moving in our warrior two. Inhaling here. Want to invite like same motion through Skandasana. So maybe it doesn't go so far as the previous one. But when you're ready, exhale. Move down into your Skandasana. Inhale. Move up into your warrior two. Exhale. Find a little bit of collection of energy using your hands. Bring yourself into your warrior two. Last one. Breathe. And go. When you're ready, exhale, both hands down. Stepping back. Finding your rock cobra roll. Bring yourself on ground. Right knee bend. Run to the right side. Finding the wild thing invitation. Exhaling down. Bring yourself on belly again. Open the chest for your cobra. Bend the elbows. Exhale. Child pose. Inhale. Downward facing. Moving on to the other side. Intention is left foot step forward. So roll onto the other edge of your right foot. Again, finding undulations. Oops. Sometimes you might fall out of it and it's totally fine. When you're ready, left foot into the chest, left knee, step your left foot forward. Preparing and anchoring the back foot for your 3 waves in high lunge. Inhale. Exhale, round. Inhale, open. Round. Inhale, open. And round. Both hands on ground. 3-legged dog, left leg rich. Bend the knee, open the hip. Scorpion dog. Find this opening. Exhale, knee to nose, so to chest. Prefer to chest to avoid too much rounding. Inhale, leg reach up. When you come the knee into the chest, descending towards the opposite elbow, send your left foot out, fallen triangle. Couple modification. So when you bend the opposite knee and sit back. Inhale, left fallen triangle. Exhale, we sit. Inhale, left. Exhale, sit. Last one. I found them those extremely nice. Exhale, sit. And you send the hands down. 3-legged dog. Inhaling. Exhaling, knee to nose and step your left foot forward. Bring yourself into a warrior two. Your own tempo. We do 3 rounds again. Inviting this fluidity as we transition into Skandasana. Inhale here, exhale, find your Skandasana. From Skandasana, open chest. Yes, bend the front knee. Find your warrior two again. Want to keep ourselves up and standing. Exhale, Skandasana, smile in the process. Inhale, find your arm motion as you bring yourself back into your warrior two. Last one. Like this kind of motions, big circle with my arms and hands, gathering energy as I bring myself back in position. When you're ready, exhale, both hands down. Step back into your plank. Chaturanga towards floor. This time is the left knee that bends and rolls. So inviting that spontaneous wild thing as your chest lift up. Exhaling, hips on ground. Bring yourself back with intention of cobra. Untie the toes, hands under the shoulder. Roll, lift the knee. Exhale, push back. Finding a moment to your child pose. 5 breaths here. Maybe feeling just nice and warm up. When you're ready, walk your hands towards the knees. One little invitation into these waves from our gate pose. So come on top of your knees. I will put myself in front of you so that you can better understand what I'm talking about. You want to send your right foot out. And we can start simply by sending the right hand towards the right thigh and finding a little bit of lateral stretch. Gazing under the armpit, breathing here. Taking a couple of breaths. When you're ready, exhale. Sending the left hand on ground so that you can find a modified side plank, but we want to invite undulation. So you want to kind of, I feel like I'm almost like scratching the air with my foot as I move my spine. Maybe see if you can catch it and invite instead a back bend after all this work you did on your spine. Gaze up. When you exhale, release. Bring the foot on ground, push yourself back up, and simply change side. Knee down, left foot out. Inhaling, lateral stretch. Feels so yummy. When you're ready, exhale, hands on ground. Again, undulation on this side. You have to think like moving the spine from a different angle. Again, I feel like I'm scratching with my toes the air. It's okay. It feels a little bit awkward for the first time, and after you start to think, oh, this is a way to move. When you're ready, exhale, maybe catching the foot, opening the chest. Now your spine maybe is a little bit more open for back bending. When you're ready, exhale, release, foot on ground, coming all the way up. Exhaling, bring the hands on floor, both knees together, and we enter again in our nice child pose, maybe knees apart, toes together. Extending the arms forward, relaxing the forehead down. Breathing in. Exhaling, moving the hands towards the left side. Finding the lateral stretch. When you're ready, breathe in, hands over the center, and then transition onto the other side. Same, lateral stretch. Just opposite side. When you're ready, gently, maybe keeping your eyes closed, walk the hands back. Take a moment here. And just send the hips towards the ground. Bring your feet forward. Preparing for Shavasana. So send the feet towards the opposite corner of the mat. Separate them. Arms can reach towards the sides. Taking 3 breaths together. Breathing in. Exhaling out. Breathing in. And out. In. And out. As your eyes are closed in your Shavasana, maybe for a moment start to contemplate the beauty and the ability of moving through the wave of life. Allowing yourself to be fluid, allowing yourself to be open, inviting anything that is there to be experienced from you without resistance, prejudice, or reluctancy. Just being present and allow things to manifest in the way that they were meant to be. You can stay in your Shavasana as long as you want. Remember, it's one of the most important parts of practice. I want to thank you for being with me this morning, this afternoon, or whenever you're taking this class. Wishing you good things ahead. Thank you.